As Joplin prepares for tomorrow's 10th anniversary of the tornado, we'll see who's participating in the memorial run and how it's impacting local businesses.
President Biden welcomes the South Korean president to the White House. I'm Skyler Henry recapping the day's events, including a ceremony honoring a 94-year-old Korean War veteran.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Joplin gears up for tomorrow's memorial run, marking the 10th anniversary of the tornado. It typically draws thousands of runners from across the globe, including folks right here in the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 5. We spoke with 4 participants about what drew them to the event. For some, it was personal tragedy. For others, it was a unique connection to the city of Joplin. One woman tells us she began taking part in the run in 2012 as a way to cope with the tragedy.
It was a distraction initially, and it became a way to mark a really horrible event with something positive. And so especially I think that first one was, this has been a really hard year, and this has been a really sad year, and I lost students in it, and I know students lost their families in it, and it was just a really tragic year, and I thought, I want to honor it properly. I don't want to not be sad, but I also would like something really good to happen on this day.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more of her story and from others about why they run. Organizers say people from 26 states will participate in that run tomorrow. KOAM's Zach Dodge joins us live from Joplin's Cunningham Park with more.
From volunteering, participating in the run, and coming to the area to honor the lives that were lost, people have several reasons for coming. And while it's not the main focus of the weekend, that does have an impact on the local economy. Julie Malter comes to Joplin from northern Missouri specifically to volunteer for the run. And there are several others who do the same from all over the country. When you consider that fact, with the fact that 2,000 people will run as well from those 26 different states, that means hotel rooms, restaurants, and businesses see more business.
It'll have an impact across all the levels of taxation that support the city, from tourism to gas to food to everything. So it's a positive. I mean, whenever you put on an event that attracts people from outside the community, that's always the return you want to have happen.
If you want to participate in the run and haven't been able to register yet, you do still have time. You can do that until 7 p.m. tonight here in person at Cunningham Park. Tonight at 6, we'll hear more about the economic impact officials think the event might have. Reporting live in Joplin, Zach Dodge, KOAM News.
Zach, thanks. Checking in with Nick Kelly now. A bit damp in parts of the area tonight, Nick.
Yeah, the cloud cover and the rain chances held supreme once again. Dow kept most of us in the lower to middle 70s all day long. At least, better late than never, we're getting some breaks in the cloud cover, showing some bluer sky and a little bit of sun from 7th and Range Line. All the rain so far today has been on the Missouri side, east of 49, but it's just light rain. This is slowly lifting toward the north and to the east, and eventually we'll get a break in the action before more rain chances pick up, unfortunately, by tomorrow morning as we head into our Saturday. Temperatures right now lower to finally some more middle 70s popping up. As far as temperatures go, most of us in the 70s up until about 8 o'clock, upper 60s toward the midnight hour, lows around 67. This is where we'll be temperature-wise down as the runs begin tomorrow morning, but we do have to time out some rain chances during the morning as well. Thankfully, just rain chances. We'll do that in full weather here in a bit.
All right, we'll see you then. Thanks, Nick. A ceasefire between Israel and Gaza militants appears to be holding tonight, but earlier today it was put to the test when Palestinian protesters clashed with Israeli forces at a Jerusalem holy site. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is warning Gaza's militant rulers against any further rocket attacks, saying Israel would respond with, quote, a new level of force. This afternoon, President Biden is holding a joint news conference with the president of South Korea following a day of meetings. This is the second world leader the president has hosted in person since taking office. Skyler Henry reports from the White House, where earlier the president awarded the nation's highest military honor to a Korean War veteran.
President Biden welcomed South Korean President Moon Jae-in to the White House. The president marked his visit by awarding his first Medal of Honor. He's elected a 94-year-old Korean War veteran.
Today, we are hosting a true American hero and awarding an honor that is long overdue.
Retired Army Ranger Colonel Ralph Puckett was given the nation's highest military honor for his heroic actions during the Korean War in November 1950. Puckett risked his life 3 times, running into an open area to distract Chinese forces attacking his platoon.
Korea is sometimes called the Forgotten War, but those men who were there under Lieutenant Puckett's command, they'll never forget his bravery.
Top agenda items for Friday's bilateral meetings with President Moon Jae-in included both countries' commitment to fighting climate change and the coronavirus pandemic. Also, regional security issues with China and North Korea.
We'll coordinate with the U.S. with no daylight to achieve complete denuclearization and establish permanent peace on the Korean Peninsula.
Earlier, the South Korean president also met with Vice President Kamala Harris.
It is more important than ever that the United States and the Republic of Korea work closely together.
Thursday, he went to Capitol Hill to meet with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and also laid a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. Skyler Henry, CBS News, the White House.
While in Washington, the South Korean president also visited the FDR Memorial. Later today, he's going to attend a groundbreaking ceremony for an addition to the Korean War Veterans Memorial, along with Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Still ahead, long lines at the airport.
I'm Elise Preston at LaGuardia Airport with a look at what caused delays for thousands of flyers today.
And next in Health Watch, studying the effects of air pollution on children's health. Researchers in Britain are exploring the effects of air pollution on children's health and the steps governments can take to create a cleaner environment. Ian Lee reports from London.
This may look like a simple schoolyard game, but these kids are playing an important part in a 4-year study. British scientists are tracking the movements of 3,500 kids to better understand how air pollution affects their health.
You clip it into the middle and you make sure that smiley face is facing upwards.
London is one of the most polluted cities in Europe.
Even if you live in the countryside at the moment, you're not far from a main road, a busy road.
And the impacts can be deadly. Last year, a coroner ruled air pollution contributed to the death of a 9-year-old British girl who died after an asthma attack.
Children are particularly vulnerable because they're going through a period of rapid growth. The key organs of the heart, the lungs and the brain, which we know are impacted by air pollution.
To stop the smog, the City of London introduced ultra-low emission zones, charging polluting cars that enter the capital $17 a day. But scientists want to know if it's working.
What we want to see is whether the actions that can be taken by local and national government actually produce a change which delivers better health for children.
That's where the kids come in. Researchers are not just monitoring their movements, but also other vital signs, like how their lungs function. They're also tracking which potentially polluted routes kids walk on their way to school.
There's lots of pollution being carried around, so it's good to stay aware.
Because researchers say, ultimately, this isn't just about creating a healthier environment for kids, but a healthier one for all of us. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
84 schools in England are taking part in this 4-year study with students ages 6 to 9 years old. Taking more steps could be a pathway to a longer life. That includes uninterrupted walking for 10 minutes or longer, or shorter spurts like climbing stairs. Researchers in North Carolina tracked more than 16,000 women and found fewer deaths among those who took more steps each day. A new study measures the toll of loneliness for women after menopause. Researchers at UC San Diego studied nearly 60,000 participants over 73. They found the risk of cardiovascular disease was 29% higher for those with high levels of both social isolation and loneliness. The 2016 presidential election caused so much stress it might have raised the risk of life-threatening heart conditions. A study in the Journal of the American Heart Association investigated cardiac health in one of the key battleground states. In patients with underlying conditions, researchers found a 77% increased risk of irregular heart rhythms during the election period. That is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, after being canceled last year because of the pandemic, the 4-State Farm Show is back.
Plus, we do have to track some rain chances for our Saturday ahead of us. We'll get to that next. We finally made it to the weekend, so anytime we can get to a Friday is certainly a good one, even though Mother Nature has kept most of us mostly cloudy once again. And this time, the area of rain that was favored to fall has shifted mainly on the Missouri side along and east of the Missouri state line. And even that was just mainly light rain that we've had to deal with throughout the course of the day. Again, we can go in a little bit tighter with the Skywatch Storm Tracker radar network. Again, not much to show on the Kansas or Oklahoma side except for maybe a little shower north of Grand Lake, especially around Grove, but the most concentrated area of mainly light rain from about Carthage on east, from Stockton Lake all the way down to almost Table Rock Lake, certainly picking up quite a bit as you go towards Springfield. Better late than never, though, as we step outside. Nice to see some breaks in the clouds, showing some bluer sky and a little bit of sun overlooking the east side of Joplin. 72 at the airport with an east breeze at 9, the humidity at 81%. Most of us in the lower 70s, but we're finally starting to see some more mid-70s pop up on the board. 76 in Miami and Welsh, 75 in Chanute, 74 in Fredonia. Cooler around Table Rock Lake where mid-60s sit. Most of us holding near 70 for the evening. 69 by 10 o'clock and midnight, and we'll drop back into the upper 60s once again for your Saturday morning. We are seeing changes in the overall weather setup, but it still wants to try and give us one more day's worth of rain chances. At the surface, none of that is contributing to the moisture pulling in from the Gulf of Mexico. This cold front, well to the north and west of us, still wants to make a run at us and change our weather up by the middle of next week. So in the meantime, it's the upper levels that we're watching. Even though we have this upper level ridge trying to eat away at our rain chances, there's a little cutoff low just off the Texas Gulf Coast, and that is sending more moisture our way and running along the jet as it tries to retreat back to the northwest to push us back near 80 at some point during the weekend. So the scattered rain that we have on the Missouri side moves on as we go through the evening. I think most of us maybe a break during the overnight, save for maybe a random shower. But by 6 a.m., more moisture coming in. We see those rain chances beginning to build back in, especially near Joplin, and continuing through 9 a.m. So as most of the runs at the Memorial Run get started near Cunningham Park and in Joplin tomorrow, not seeing any of these as thunderstorms, but you'll definitely have to contend with rain as we continue through our Saturday morning. But once we get past the noon hour, the rain chances shift to the north. We'll trend drier for the afternoon, but we'll still have to hold on to mostly cloudy skies. 67 in the morning, 71 by noon, afternoon highs around 76. Maybe some showers during Saturday evening, but I think we're dry overnight. And Sunday looks like the drier of the days for the weekend. Maybe a couple of thunderstorms, but I'm thinking partly sunny and definitely warmer with highs pushing back near 80. Showing you the overall upper level setup though. Maybe a stray storm on Monday, but sticking with Doug's pattern, these two upper lows, especially to our north and west, that will push our next cold front our way. And as you see in the 7-day forecast, Tuesday through Friday of next week, those are days with better shots for thunderstorms and potentially a strong to severe threat through the middle and latter part of next week. In the meantime, rain chances mainly during the morning, highs here 76, 80 on Sunday, with that being the drier of the days this weekend now.
All right, Nick, thanks. 4-State Farm Show is back in action in Pittsburgh after being canceled last year because of the pandemic. The show is underway right now at Pitt State's Plaster Center. The event is free to attend, and around 800 vendors are participating this year. One vendor we spoke with says he's never missed a show.
We got repeat customers. We give good service, try to take care of them, and they come back to us. I've got bins in all 4 states.
Farm Show will continue through the weekend. Tomorrow it's open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then on Sunday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Coming up, how a system outage at several U.S. airports led to long check-in lines. First, though, we honor a local veteran. Bill Daniels served in the U.S. Army from 1953 to 55. The 5-mile Oklahoma native was stationed in Korea, and we salute Private Bill Daniels, our 4-state hero. An airport check-in system used by American Airlines and other carriers experienced a temporary outage this morning, causing long lines at several airports across the country. Elise Preston reports from LaGuardia Airport in New York, where some customers are still feeling the effects.
Passengers across the country dealt with long lines with no end in sight as a computer system glitch caused widespread delays and headaches.
We've just lost a night in Bermuda and screwed up our whole vacation.
Video from social media shows frustrated passengers waiting to check in and take off.
We have literally been waiting for 3 hours.
The chaos began after a third-party reservation system called Sabre that's used by American Airlines, JetBlue, and Alaska Airlines had a system outage. Misty Woods got stuck at Orlando International Airport trying to get to Los Angeles for the weekend.
The reason I was able to get updates is I went on the internet and I seen that everyone was talking about it on Twitter.
American Airlines says the technical issue has since been resolved. Passengers here at New York's LaGuardia Airport are relieved the airline is moving again.
Makes me feel really nice to know that I don't have to stress over anything.
The glitch comes just as pandemic restrictions ease up nationwide and activities like airline travel are making a comeback. Sabre acknowledged the outage, saying, "We will take all necessary measures to prevent a recurrence." Elise Preston, CBS News, New York.
Sabre says the issue was due to a hardware redundancy problem. In 2019, the company's system failed 3 times in 2 months and was later upgraded. During the pandemic, scam artists have taken advantage of the growing number of people shopping online, and that includes consumers looking for a car. The Better Business Bureau is warning that scam artists are posting fake ads for used vehicles. The car is usually priced low, and the fake sellers claim the car will be delivered if payment is sent to a third-party account, but the car never shows and the money is gone.
Party escrow companies are often non-existent. They're simply another name for the scammers. So you think you're sending the money to a safe third party, you're really sending it to the scammers.
The scammers sometimes insist the vehicle has to sell fast. The White House is targeting tax evaders with a new plan. Under President Biden's new tax enforcement plan, the IRS would widen its payroll by almost 87,000 workers. The added manpower would bolster efforts to go after wealthy Americans and corporations that may be dodging their fair share. The Treasury Department says underreported income is the biggest contributor to the tax shortfall. Also, the Biden administration is cracking down on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. A new rule from the Treasury Department will require crypto transactions worth $10,000 or more to be reported to the IRS. A similar rule already exists for cash transactions. Apple CEO Tim Cook today took the witness stand. He testified in an antitrust case against Apple brought by Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite. At issue, the money Apple makes from its mobile app store and players' access to the game. Epic argues that Apple's commissions are part of an illegal monopoly, but Apple says the money helps pay for technology security and privacy protections. A final check of the forecast next.
PM, loosen your tie up.
CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, a group of women sued the state of Missouri for failing to fund a voter-approved Medicaid expansion. Plus, we're going to hear more from people participating in tomorrow's Joplin Memorial Run about why they're running. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. A lot of people looking to the weather forecast for tomorrow morning, participating in those events.
Well, I don't think anything will be canceled because I don't see any thunderstorms now. We will see rain chances picking up around Joplin between 6 and 7 a.m. when a good number of the races begin. The rain chances continue through the morning up until about the noon hour. Then we're going to see everything shift to the north out of the area as we go toward the afternoon. Otherwise, the cloud cover and rain chances keep us kind of warm with highs near 76.
We'll see you right back here at 6. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.